Are you streaming it in the dark? Is it like real dark in your room?
No, it's the issue. I had to have lights because then you won't see me.
No. You see you reflected from the light, in your monitor, and that makes it extra creepy.
Like, okay, this is what it looks like without my lights on. Well, I'll have the couple lights on, but it looks bad.
Ah!
No.
You can't see me.
What you got to do is you got to start the stream with your hair over your face, like Sadako,
the Grudge
from The Ring or The Grudge, yeah,
or the right,
and
Ring.
And then like you're gonna come through the camera.
Yeah, I was like,
I think that'd be good. Hey everybody, welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, your JRPG podcast for all things JRPGs. I'm Brandon.
I'm Abdallah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are so happy to... You got it right, everybody.
He did.
Did it.
Right.
Hooray.
I'm so proud of myself.
We're very proud of Dalla here on the JRPG Pursuit podcast. And we are very proud of you, our listeners and viewers, for checking us out. How great are you that you would do that? We really appreciate you. And especially thanks to our members who help us actually make the show happen. You guys are fantastic. We wanted to mention, we sat down to start recording this episode and we realized we were accidentally recording an after show. Like unintentionally. So we did the after show.
Spiraled into that.
Just kind of spiraled.
It got real weird real fast.
It got like, so weird. And I was like, I don't want to edit this, edit out
Human Centipedes may have been
Human Centipede came up too much. I was like, I don't want to have to edit this out of an actual episode. So we're just going to make that the after show. So if you want to check out the after show, you can join at the Pursuer level. And I think you'll have fun. We certainly do. And we would love it for you to join us on the after show. Check it out. I think that's all the top of show business out of the way, right? Am I forgetting anything?
Seems like
we had a great time at PAX.
Yeah, we did.
Last week
we haven't decompressed about this.
We haven't really talked about it on the podcast yet. Well, maybe we'll get into that today a little bit.
We're really thankful, I would say, for all the opportunities that Square Enix, Nintendo of America, Bandai Namco, Serenity Forge.
Serenity Forge. We had a lot of really good experiences there.
Yeah. Great met a lot meetings with folks. I felt like once again, I barely got to walk the show floor. More this year than last year, but
we checked out though the end of the tournament for Tekken. Was it
Tekken? That was epic.
An intense, Tekken matchup at the end there. That was about to. I had a feeling. I was so worried that they're PAX mom is going to show up and they're going to unplug the TV and just shut it down. But you're done. Go home. Because they were literally as they were trying to wrap up this battle, you hear the person on the intercom going there's 5 minutes left. Everybody get the hell out of here. And
they were shutting the place down. They were still going. And I got I'll tell you, I got as fired up as I get watching competitive Tetris. And that sounds like a joke, but that's legit. I love competitive.
Joke.
You have no idea how intense Brandon gets.
Here's the thing, though. My wife Jen, also loves competitive Tetris. I don't know how that works. I don't know how it makes sense. I don't know how it makes sense at all. But we both are sitting there oh, wow, cool.
I was going to make another my wife Jen joke, but I'm going to leave it. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I always throw that in there just so that people know who she is because maybe they don't know.
They don't know.
There's lots of Jen. It's a really common name for our age group. Every girl was named Jen. So,
however, I don't see them spelled with 2 N's often.
Not as often. It's
true. That's a rarity.
And my name is spelled a little bit differently than other Brandons. So. We try to just be a little bit different.
That's how you differentiate yourself,
It's true.
I should have done that with my name.
And the Brandons did collide.
Most popular name, my generation.
The Brandons did collide.
I've seen Emily spelled with 2 E's before. Emilee.
I've not seen that. I've seen it instead of a Y and I.
I've seen I, sure. IE.
Yeah.
But I've definitely seen EE. I want to see if I have a relative, a distant cousin that spells it that way. But anyway, I don't think that's why you're here. You all are here because you want to listen to us talk about JRPGs. And I think we have a pretty cool topic for you today.
I think so.
As we haven't done it yet. We haven't taled about it yet. So we can't say for
sure. Let us know. Let us know at the end.
Let us know in the comments, please, how you like this topic. We're really punchy tonight. Holy crap.
I know. The vibes.
I feel what happens when we film.
We do the after shows first.
We should probably do that
bizarre energy. Okay. Yeah.
We should probably do that more often. It feels like we're
maybe.
This is the vibe we get when we're in the room together. So it's really
a little
weird.
more of that vibe. Sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the PAX episode.
A little bit like in the PAX episode.
That got
a little punchy too.
Messy. Yeah.
So anyway, today we're talking about battle systems. Okay, we're talking about
Battles.
JRPG battle systems.
Yes.
The ones that we think are the most exemplary. And why? Because we don't want to just list a bunch of battle systems for you and call it a day.
And not just
that,
exemplary, right? Innovative, different,
innovative,
unique.
The best of the best, the most interesting.
The best of the best, though.
Some of the
That separates them from other JRPGs.
I honestly think you under exemplary, you could also say like battle systems that maybe didn't quite pull it off, but did some really interesting things. I think that would qualify too. Like just the great, cool strange, concepts. The unusual battle systems.
Unusual.
And yeah, so let's dive right into it.
Yep.
Who wants to go first? Okay, fine, I will.
I knew that was going to happen.
My arm.
I know. I know. Shocked.
I thought the first one I'd like to talk about is the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. Well, there's only been 2 games so far, but assuming that they're not going to drastically change things for the 3rd game, Final Fantasy VII Remake is kind of like a natural evolution of the Kingdom Hearts battle system in a lot of ways. You can see Tetsuya Nomura kind of evolving as a game developer very slowly, just evolving so slowly. And I know he gets upset when people comment on how long his games take to come out, but I don't. Is he paying any attention to other, like how fast other games come out? Is he not aware? Someone should tell him. Someone should let him know that normally games don't take 15 years to make.
He's too busy designing zippers. Okay.
This is just an aside. Zippers actually kind of terrify me a little bit. Like I've had one too many zipper injury in my life that I'm just like, this clothes fastening device is not made for me. It can
read between the zips on that one.
Zip. Oh my God. But anyway,
it's turned into an after show. What is this?
It's devolving again.
Guys, we can't have 2 after shows.
We can't have 2 after shows. They can't both be after. Can't. One of them has to be before.
I know.
One of them has to be the pre-after show.
It's the preamble to
Final
the
Fantasy
after.
VII Remake. So if you're not familiar,
yes.
I'm guessing many of you are, but if you're not, Final Fantasy VII Remake is an action RPG, right? Like you are running around in real time, controlling whatever character you want in battle, and you are fighting. You're hitting the square button, I think, to attack. Like you are, freely attacking as much as you want. You have different styles of attacks, and different characters obviously have different methods of attacking. So Barrett is shooting from a distance, and Tifa is punching, which somehow does as much damage as Cloud's giant sword. That's JRPG logic, I guess.
Have you met Tifa?
I haven't.
She has the main punch.
She's got them
she's
punches.
Made up though, so she can't. She's not real doll. I'm sorry.
Why you gotta break my heart like that?
Randall's a grade here. Man.
But yeah,
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight.
So you're doing lots of action oriented things, but at the same time you have access to a menu of the sorts of spells and items and things that you would use in a traditional turn-based or active time Final Fantasy game, right? And the way it works, just like it kind of did in Kingdom Hearts, right, is the action doesn't stop. Especially in Final Fantasy VII Remake, it slows down to like a dramatic level, right? So the reason that I like the Final Fantasy VII Remake battle system so much is I feel like it's the best translation of what they would have intended the turn-based combat to feel like if it was really happening, right? Like the idea that, you would, if you were thinking, I'm going to use this magic spell, the length of time that it takes you as the player to go down to the magic menu, scroll down through the list to find the spell, activate it, choose your target, and cast the spell. Like, that's going to take you several seconds, but in the game reality, it's going to be almost instantaneous. So the fact that the time slows down that much kind of shows the thought process of the character as they're thinking what they're going to do. And it happens within a second of like game time, real time. But in reality, you're taking the time that you would take to go through the menu. Yeah. So, and then combining that with being able to freely attack and run around and dodge, it's it's the closest thing, like I say, to that traditional system, while mixing in some of the crazy over the top action that everybody from video game creators to action movie directors have been trying to capture since Advent Children came out.
Yeah.
Like, people have been trying to get that feeling that you got from watching the action scenes in Advent Children and put them in a game. And this is probably the closest that anyone has come to that yet. What do you guys think about 7R? Emily, you haven't played it. Yeah. Dala, what do you think about 7R?
No, I agree, especially with Rebirth. The
Rebirth really refined it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like with the remake, it was good. It was fine. I enjoyed it. But with the Rebirth, I felt like I was just like so into it. I think it was one of my like favorite, like for an action based game. I liked it way more than I expected I was going to like it. Cause like, I think with the first game, I was still a little skeptical. I was like, okay, it's fine. I can deal with this. It's like very actiony, but like with the second game it started, I think it blended more of like the RPG elements as like, it made it more, I guess, more punchier in that way where you're like really, you really had to utilize the different types of spells that you were using and like, really take advantage of those things. It felt like it was more necessary in Rebirth. And so like, just playing with all the different characters now that you have access to more characters in this one, it gives you more opportunity to play around with it. Cause like I loved using Yuffie, my favorite character to play with, honestly. She was just a ton of fun.
She's very chaotic. I like it.
Very chaotic, and then adding elements to her attacks as well, especially when you're dealing with like weaknesses and things like that, is so useful in a lot of different battles.
I'm really glad you brought up the different characters, because that's actually one of the best things that Rebirth did over Remake, in my opinion. When I played Remake, I almost never changed characters. I was Cloud basically the whole time. I would flip around occasionally for a minute or two and be like, I prefer Cloud. And I still like Cloud a lot in Rebirth, but they actually gamified, or that's not quite the right word. They made changing characters kind of an integral part of like the progression of a battle. So like,
do you see it's kind of like Ys, where you switch between different
kind
characters?
of, so the way it works in Rebirth is you have a separate little like super meter, I forget what it's called, that you need to charge up, and you need another character to charge up that meter as well. The AI is largely not going to do that. Like they will sometimes do an action that will fill that meter, but not very often. So if you want to be able to do these powerful combination attacks and flashy moves and stuff, you have to be actively switching characters in order to fill up everybody's meter enough to be able to do it. So like, I was like, okay, that's genius. Cause like that made me actually want to continually flip around. And so I got way more experience and fun out of playing with all these different characters instead of just focusing on Cloud like a vanilla beta cuck or whatever, like I am. Like I played with all the characters.
Brandon's just going all in this episode.
I'm all for it. It is something.
It's just the first insult I could think of to call myself. First pair of
I have
insults,
a question
I guess.
though.
Yeah.
As someone who's played Crisis Core Reunion, would you say like playing as Zack is kind of similar to playing as Cloud in Remake? The action
in terms of the straight up action,
okay,
because you do play as Zack in certain areas of the
there's
narrative as
well some parallels there too. It's not exactly the same, but it is.
Like I feel like some of the
it's a more robust
from
version.
Crisis Core on the PSP, they've just integrated with the new remakes.
It doesn't have like the PSP lottery system.
It doesn't have the jackpot thing.
There's not.
There's no lottery. Like you just have your skills that you can switch to and like pick from a meter,
and then you just use
and it's
which is kind
like
of like going back to the OG 7 when you're supposed to get your super attacks, whatever those were called.
Yeah, I mean it does have like it is as close as an action combat can get to being what like the original is. It kind of it has the essence of the original's battle system, like the thought process behind it, but it's just taken in a more action perspective.
And is it more fluid than you'd say 16's action combat?
I would say
I think so.
it's
Because
fluid.
I know 16 went more Devil May Cry.
Yeah, like well,
rather than Kingdom Hearts.
If you're looking for straight action, then 16 is going to be more of like a fluid action.
16
like
is more of an action game for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like it is straight up like an action game. Where like 7 is kind of like an in between. It's like it's like if it's literally between like 15 and 16, like that style. Where like you get like the flashiness of 15, the action more action bits of 16, but then it slows down and gives you kind of like what you'd think from an RPG mechanics, like in terms of like picking and choosing your magic attacks and having special attacks that go into that, and then slowing down time to give you time to think about what you need to do. So it does give you the little bit of, I guess, like the essence of like a battle system that is turn-based. From my perspective, I do love that they also like kind of throw you into different characters throughout the progression of the game. So that way you, even if you did make the decision to just play as Cloud, you're kind of also forced by the narrative to try out different characters.
You're going to have to throw those boxes as Cait Sith. Sorry. It's happening.
It's everybody's got to suffer through that. It's just a requirement.
I've heard about that part.
It's a requirement. It is not fun, but they did it. They
just
put it in there.
That part in there. They knew it was bad. They put that in there because they knew they needed that reviewers needed to have something bad to write about. Yeah. And they're like, let's pick the thing that they're going to write about. They're all going to write about this because it's the worst part.
And everybody likes to shit on Cait Sith anyway, so like let's just go all in.
I love
and how do you pronounce his
I know, name? I love him, but
they like, pronounce it wrong. They like canonize the wrong pronunciation. It makes me so mad. I I prided myself for a long time. I was like, I know how that's pronounced. Nobody else does. Ketchi, baby.
Ketchi.
No longer.
No longer. That's it.
So
you're wrong.
I guess to round up Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, what it's going to be. So what would you say is the essence or the exemplary bit from the combat?
I think that it is. I think that it's the accurately translating what the traditional Final Fantasy battle system was trying to convey via your imagination into gameplay.
Yeah. I can see. Yeah,
masterful way. So that's exciting. I can't wait to get to those. I don't know when, but I can't wait.
One of these days.
I've been preparing.
We'll have to get you to stream
wait till right before the third one comes out, and then just marathon.
Oh man, I'll have to like hardcore go through them.
You should stream them all.
Stream them all.
It'll take you forever.
Just do a nonstop stream. Don't just do a continuous stream
just
until
don't
you finish
eat,
all
don't
of them.
sleep.
The Final Fantasy.
You can have a bathroom break every like 5 hours, but that's it.
You got to schedule it.
You can't go it quick.
Yeah, and you, even if you have to really go, you got to wait.
You gotta hold it. Sorry,
you gotta hold it. Like you have a schedule to keep.
I don't make the rules. Actually, we do. We're making them right now.
Yeah, we made the rules.
Your health is gonna suffer. Your health is gonna suffer. But it'll be a great stream. People appreciate it.
Exactly. If you ain't suffering, you ain't streaming. So
maybe I'll do a subathon. I don't know how this works, but try something. Anyway, Ajala, what JRPG game do you think has exemplary combat?
Exemplary. Honestly, I'm gonna take it a different angle. I wouldn't say like exemplary, but I liked the thought process behind it. And it's something I brought up before in terms of Chained Echoes. I think, and I want to bring up like something that's not like a big game, because I know you two you have some the big names in there. Sure. But with
okay,
Emily. Okay. You could disagree. I'll let you allow it. But for Chained Echoes, I really enjoyed, because like it doesn't do anything drastic with the actual battle system. Like you're still kind of like picking attacks from a menu. It's nothing, I would say exemplary from that perspective. But what it does is that, I really love the idea of the overheating and the cooling system that it has, just because it really created a really fun balance when I played that game. So like mostly what I do in JRPGs is I get accustomed to using one or two skills and like attacks, and I'll just spam those because I know those are going to be the most optimal ones. And I tend to not use any I end up not using a lot of let's say support skills or, debuffs and buffs and things like that. Like depending on the game, usually, Like certain games, like you kind of have to use it, but like for the most part, across a lot of JRPGs, you can get by without doing those kind of things.
Right.
But with this game, it was just cool because like depending on the types of attacks and support skills or debuffs and buffs that you use, it can, you know, cool down your engine or cool down the meter, or, you know, overheat the meter depending on what you're doing. And you want to keep it in that sweet spot where it gives you that like gives like an extra bonus to your attacks. It makes your cooldown a lot faster for your next attacks and things like that. So like it kind of forces you to just try everything,
right?
To play the game how it's supposed to be played, to enjoy the like every skill that each person has, and each person has their very distinct play style of what they have, like what they use and the kind of skills that they have. And so like it just kind of forces you to just try and play it the way you would expect to play it. And I thought that was like just a great like solution to make a fun, you know, battle system that doesn't just kind of like put yourself on like cruise control and you just kind of fight like, and you just like, you know, you're not just spamming A and you're going and you're just going to wait for it and just like wait till the battle ends. Every battle you kind of have to think about it. You have to like gauge quite literally where you're at and then how you complete it. React. I know, Brandon, you played a little bit of Chained Echoes.
Yeah, I agree. I like that's one of the more compelling elements is like how it, you know, gamify. I keep wanting to use the word gamify. It's a game. It's not gamifying anything. It is a game.
It is a game.
But how it like you say, it makes the various things that I would probably otherwise pay no attention to become viable options for combat. And I think it's interesting that like Chained Echoes is one of the more recent examples of this, but like this kind of newer trend of, especially in the indie space, of designers trying to solve the age-old problem of people just using the same stuff over and over and over again. Right. Like a traditional Final Fantasy battle system, there's no restrictions on what you do. You could just cast, you know, Ultima every battle and win and you'd be fine. You have to use a lot of ethers, but you could do it. But like Chained Echoes has that system. I was thinking of like Cosmic Star Heroine, which has, you know, the charge system where you can use your special skills, but then you have to recharge them. And that's part of the gameplay loop. It's like encouraging you to use all of your different things so that you don't have to waste a turn charging. You can just charge them all, you know? Like I like that. I think that's a really interesting thing that is particularly on the indie side, because they're sticking more thoroughly to the turn-based systems, right? Than a lot of the bigger publishers. So they're coming up with really innovative ways to solve that problem. I think that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's
because I feel like it's so easy to cheese things now that with a lot of, you know, games on the JRPG kind of indie side, because they're rooted in so many traditional JRPGs, like it's very familiar, like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have a twist, of course, like Chained Echoes.
Echoes.
They almost have to. I feel like a lot of people, like, I almost appreciate it when a game doesn't have that much of a twist, but like, because they kind of feel like they have to stand out, you see a lot of gimmicky things in the indie scene, and they don't all work. But the ones that do, I think are doing really interesting things. And I think, Chained Echoes is a really good example of one of those.
Yeah. Cause it's not like overbearing.
No, it's like the combat system isn't like overly
like
frustrating,
innovative, but also intuitive, you know?
Like
it has to be something you could just easily, you know, get into and have fun. Like you don't want to
exactly.
Like, I don't want to bring up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like that, it takes a little bit of a learning curve to get into it, and then it's really fun. But you have to get over that hurdle,
which is a terrible hurdle to try to get over.
It's pretty bad, but I did it. It was okay.
I love the game, but that battle system was rough.
It's one of my favorites still, but I could see why people don't like it.
No, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I do appreciate it because like with Chain Echoes, like the system's pretty simple. Like in terms of like, it still plays like a typical RPG. You're not doing anything out of the ordinary. You're just
balancing. I think with systems too, like how it changes the course of, new enemies and things, how it evolves over time, it also plays a key component here to make it, just fun, like for the long term.
Exactly. And then especially with Chains Echoes, you have like, it changes based off of whether you're in your mechs or you're as like your person.
Kind of like Xenoblade X a little bit.
So you have like slightly different mechanics and things like that based off of that stuff. So it's like, it's a lot of really like simple, but fun mechanics that keep you like engaged rather than just kind of like checking out. Control. Yeah. Rather than checking out through each battle. Mm-hmm. Especially since like in a lot of like especially with indie games, like they're usually not grind heavy. So like you're not sitting there grinding like enemies constantly. Like you have a specific set of enemies that you get through and you'll get the experience from those enemies and you'll move on because everything is kind of like just balanced in that kind of trajectory. So every battle, is compelling. Like they want to make it where it's like a compelling battle because there's a limit of those types of battles that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, should I move to my pick?
Let's do it.
Okay. I guess the thing that inspired this episode is we are still in the month of Trails.
Exactly.
So time to Trails. We had to talk about Trails here.
Yeah. What are we? How many
30 minutes?
30 minutes
About
in.
30 minutes.
Yep. There we go.
But Trails in the Sky first chapter. That combat is so fun. Like so far, as of this recording, we just played the prologue. But this is like the epitome of fusing together a hybrid system that takes turn-based combat with action. And it's just so fun,
I know.
Like I've been having a ball. This is like the 4th iteration of Falcom doing this hybrid system with their newer Trails entries. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this is like, I don't know how they can improve upon this. Like this is pinnacle for me. I don't know about you guys.
No. Yeah, I worry at a certain point, like if you try to improve it too much, do you add things that weigh it down even?
Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
It's great as it is right now.
No, exactly. And like, I just like what I love, especially about the Trails in the Sky. Cause I love Daybreak's, everything about Daybreak, especially that it uses, off the bat, X and, O is switched to the American style, thought process. But this brings like Sky kind of brings back the old kind of difficulty almost of the original Sky trilogy. Because like when those games, like when I first played the Sky trilogy, like those games were not simple. Like they're not easy. Like they're pretty. The battles can get pretty.
Some of the boss fights
some
are so
in particular that were pound your head against the wall. Hard.
Yeah,
and you have to lower the difficulty when they say try again. Would you like to lower the difficulty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hang my head in shame and say yes. Make it easy for me, please.
and I was feeling that like it was so like it's interesting because like when you look at a remake, you're like thinking about like how nostalgic are you going to feel for this game after like so many years, and I was getting nostalgia from the difficulty. Like that's where
I was too.
I was thinking about it for like it brought back memories of like when I was like hitting these battles and I was like struggling through some of these battles. I was like, oh man, this
I don't remember struggling the prologue so hard though.
I know that's true.
It's usually later in the game.
Yeah, but
I think the irony here, but
exactly. And I love that they brought back like Brave Points.
Yeah, they took some of the other elements from the previous arcs.
Yeah.
So Brave Points was from the Cold Steel 3 and 4.
Exactly.
And they, they kind of hand-waved a little bit what it means for the current orbit system, but it still works, I think, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It never really made sense to me how the orbment had to do anything with people teaming up for attacks. It's like
you join them together.
Yeah.
They could feel each other's movements, like, or they could just look and be like, "Oh, my partner's attacking something
creepy.
I'm gonna just attack."
Just like that sounds weird. I don't know.
I think it's totally fine.
Automatic though, like you don't have to make sure everyone's linked together because if someone like dies, you swap out people. And you want to have the whatever configuration.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Streamlined so many things. Especially I love the orbit. Like customizing it with your quartz and you open the slots.
Oh yeah. And I love how
find so much joy in tinkering with those.
I know, but I do love how like we're going back to the old style of ornaments, and so like it's simpler again. It's nice. It's like
Well,
We
it's
don't have to open
simpler
this-
in
I tried to open the
appearance. I
first
feel
game.
like it's like
Do you open multiple slots? I feel like once the slot's open, it's open.
it's
you don't
open.
Have to
It's
upgrade.
It's open, it's
SC,
open.
Yeah.
It's SC that you can upgrade slots.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking. I was
in the
Yeah.
first
the lines there,
in
like,
the
which
first
one?
game, yeah, like it's just like it is. There is complexity in the sense of like which orbits you put in there can unlock. In
Unlock
what
different
sequence?
different orders.
You know, in
for
different
simplify
orders.
They simplify it by telling you now, like,
Yeah.
you need
Yeah,
this
it's on the screen. You
Exactly.
have to go through window hopping. to
Yeah.
figure out where
you
it
can
is
find
in the
out
menus.
pretty easily what it is you need, and so you can
Exactly.
outfit yourself all in one spot, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh boy, like
And then getting the CP too. Like before, I would have to grind on
yeah.
enemies before I go to a boss. But now you could just roll on the grass and you get CP.
But those shiny palms.
They're easier. I was able to actually beat them. I was like, oh, they're not impossible again.
They killed me.
oh, did
They
they?
killed you?
Yeah.
Oh, I beat them.
They like I
They
don't
pack
know
a
what
punch, but
they pack a punch and like
I thought they're easier, but maybe I was just lucky.
I had to reload a save from like right before I was fighting one because it kept like I kept every time I restarted I kept getting in a loop of dying with them for some reason.
I died from the bounty with the guy who explodes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I forgot they explode. I was too close. I was like, oh no, I have to do this again.
exploding enemies, that was a much bigger deal back in the old school Trails days than it is
Yeah.
in the newer ones. I had kind of forgotten that. Like,
I forgot about that
when I
too.
saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this was the thing for quite a while. Where enemies
I
explode.
found out the worst way because I
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
and
Live on
to
stream.
restart it.
Yeah, I actually
it was on
tuned in.
stream.
I actually tuned in and got to see that
You saw that?
live. Yeah,
Oh, lovely. It's clipped now on Twitch apparently.
yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
perfect.
So you can replay it if you
I
want.
I totally forgot about that. So like
Yeah.
that definitely happened. I didn't die, but I got hurt and I was like, oh,
But-
yep, that's the thing.
But even
Yeah,
even beyond the action and the combination of the two, like the core Trails battle system, I think is exemplary, to use our
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
$4 word.
I've always loved it.
It's a great word because
She was not talking about the word,
Great
but
word.
no, I know, but it is a good word.
but I like
It's
that
a great
you.
word.
Yeah,
It's a great word.
It's a great
Thank you.
word. It's a great
Um,
one.
Like the core battle system has always done such a good job of balancing how you handle your special moves, and they do that
Yeah.
by separating like techniques from magic and having two completely separate meters that measure how much of that you have. So on the
Yeah.
one hand, you have magic that uses EP,
Yeah.
and that's a resource that you can run out of. You have to use items or whatever to restore it, but you
Yep.
can cast.
It might come up, magically.
You
in
might
the
get a
timeline.
bonus or a boost from the
Little
battle,
boost.
but it's a resource that you can run out of. But using it, you can use really, really extremely powerful magical attacks, so it can be worthwhile. On
And the
the
more
other hand,
powerful the attack is, sometimes the longer it takes to cast.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
could be
so there's a
impeded.
trade-off
there's so many
there where
complexities.
where you're like deciding, is it worth it? Is it worth the risk of doing this? On the other hand, you have CP, which is a perfectly renewable resource. Like you get it just by playing the game. You fight and play the game and get hit and get
Yep.
in there and rip it up. You get CP, and
Rip it
then
up.
you can use those CP to use really big, powerful attacks. And the game rewards you for balancing the way you play that way. Like sometimes you're aggressive and you're building up CP. Sometimes you're a little more thoughtful and you're using EP to send spells. Like
Yep.
no other.
Or you just regular attacking if you want to, work up your CP meter.
Exactly. Like you're being aggressive. It's forcing you to not forcing you, but
Aggressive?
encouraging you to here's an opportunity, go be aggressive, build up your meter, and then launch one of these attacks or what, it lets you
Yeah.
go back and forth.
I've always been curious. Have you guys ever used the defensive stance? I think I never used that.
Not really.
I don't think so.
In some
I don't think
games, they
there's
kind of
any
removed
time
it.
I
They
used
just
it.
switched it to move, and so you could just move and then.
I
Yeah.
think here you have to go on one of the back.
Yeah, here there's
the back
actually a
buttons and it's there.
defend. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in the old versions of the games, if you just did move but didn't move anywhere, I think it puts you in
Yeah.
a defensive stance.
There were some
but no, I
there's
almost
some
never did that.
battles.
I almost never.
There's
did that.
some battles that you require you to do it if
Really?
well if
Maybe I just powered through that.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever did it.
because
don't think I would do
you'll have a 2-part attack or an enemy, like a battle or an enemy, like a boss that's going to like charge their attack. And so like when they start their charge, you go into defensive so it doesn't destroy you.
Sure.
In that second part of the attack where it actually happens.
Maybe I'll try that with this game. Maybe I'll try using defend for a change.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do it. One thing I do have one thing I hope they fix before the main game comes out, and that is the lock on.
Oh, no, I didn't have an issue with that.
Really?
I heard people have issues with it. I don't feel like I really had too much of an issue, but
I just kind of
I also didn't use it as much. But go on, Della.
The problem with the lock on is that I've noticed what it tries to do is that it tries to do something that is in your line of sight, even if it's very far away. So it doesn't take into account that like if you're in a battle with like 3 or 4 enemies and you've killed one and it should switch to one next to that, it'll all of a sudden lock on to like an enemy that is like far away that is not part of your battle. And it will try to like pull that into a battle. And I'll be like, why you like, I'll be like, I have to turn off the like lock on and like re kind of like move my character to look face towards
PC or
this is on PS5. So like,
maybe I didn't play it on PS5, so I don't know.
And it happens like consistently enough that I'm just like, that's a little annoying.
Maybe there's a PS5 issue.
Maybe I should test it out on Steam with the demo.
Whenever I was doing the the action combats, like I was just really Estelle around. Like she was just going
like
after everyone. I wasn't really specifically trying to
fine, but sometimes that can't like that lock on will just like completely miss its mark, and I'm like,
annoying.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Like
it is, like I said,
it would ruin the flow.
I didn't actually end up using it very much, and I usually do in those kinds of games. I didn't feel like I needed it as much because like the attacks are so sweeping.
It's so
and
AoE,
like,
mostly.
yeah, like you can hit a lot of stuff. So it's like I'm just steering myself in the general direction I want to go, and it was mostly okay. I did use it eventually. I got more of a hang of using it and used it a bit more at the end, but
that's my only like gripe.
And at its core, the action portion of the combat is pretty simple, right? It's not overly complicated. Even like it's not as complicated as that. But it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, you sweep away the enemies that are low powered, or you stun them so that you have an advantage when you turn into turn base.
Yeah. I do like in the action combat, you have like those 2 meters that you can use for your special attacks, and I love that like you can
the CP attack was nice.
You can drift from a dodge, and it fills up that meter right away, and so you can go straight into a special attack. And so like when you get that right balance of like just hitting those dodges constantly and then just going straight into like special attacks, you can just like sweep through all the enemies pretty quickly.
It's
a great feeling.
Like a badass.
You feel so good. It feels so good.
The animation's so nice.
I know.
And I really liked playing with the different characters because in Daybreak I felt like I kind of kept with the same characters that were my preferred style of doing the action sequences, but I feel like they balanced it really well, at least with the 3 that we could play in the prologue. Sky.
I enjoyed all 3 characters. I think
actually Shara was maybe the most fun.
Shara was a lot of. I love her commentary as she hit. She's like the most Shara, like little random things she would say as she was like whipping people. It's too funny, but she also hit like a tank. So like comparatively between I
actually didn't use her much in the original.
No, I didn't either.
No.
So it's nice to use her more.
In the demo, I didn't really use Joshua all that much. I used Estelle the most, and then Shara probably.
I used Estelle mostly.
I used Estelle mostly. I used Joshua a little bit in the beginning, and then because I was drifting between Joshua and Estelle, and I was like trying to figure out, okay, which one do I like more? Estelle hits substantially harder with action combat because her base attack is just harder. So I tended to drift, and also her AoE, like
her AoE is better.
Yeah, like she just hits like all over the place. So like she's just so useful.
Did you guys notice when you fight the first boss in this demo down in the sewer, just like you go down in the sewer like in the first game, you fight it in turn based. Like they don't really give you a choice. You just go into turn based, and that was kind of how it was in
They're teaching
Daybreak.
you. Yeah.
That's how it was in Daybreak as well. But if you go back down there, you can fight it again in action combat. Like I thought that was cool, and I hope that they do that with more bosses, so that it's like if you want to go and try fighting it full action, like you have that option now. I think that would be. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but I hope that they do.
I'm curious, which ones they'll allow. Like, there's obviously some bosses you can't revisit.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Be some bosses,
yeah, that's interesting for sure.
Yeah,
but I think what Trails is like, the direction of Trails right now is really, I guess, exemplifying. In the genre, it's just showing how you could do an innovation with the turn-based formula. And make it fresh and fun.
I think it's like
and modernizing it.
The optimal like style that I think plays to everyone's like, interests, because there's a lot of people out there that want, turn-based combat, and there's a lot of people who also enjoy action combat. And so like just bridging those two things completely.
Yeah, it's the why not both meme.
Exactly. Like it's exactly like it makes so much sense. And it's great to see that like more, slowly more franchises are trying to do similar things. Like, Metaphor ReFantazio's not quite there, but they started. It's a step forward, and Digimon
it's still a little more hand-holdy, where they are kind of forcing you into a turn-based at a certain point. But it's definitely a step towards that. And then you were going to say Digimon.
And Digimon has basically the same Metaphor ReFantazio like style. Like you basically, if they're lower level than you.
It also reminds me of like earlier Trails. Like you could just clear enemies by hitting them.
By hitting. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And
in the field.
Yeah. Even like Pokemon Violet and stuff like that was doing the same thing. You can go like have your Pokemon go out and just like attack in this field. Yeah.
But speaking of Pokemon, we did do a demo at PAX with Pokemon Legends ZA. Arceus. But that's Zarkius. A whole new, chapter, I think, for Pokemon when it comes to combat.
Yeah.
Exciting.
You guys played that. I was running camera.
You watched it though.
I did watch it, but I wasn't paying super close attention. So tell us about it, please.
You want to go, Dollar?
Oh, sure. So I was super skeptical about this game because I'm just a little bit jaded with my Pokemon with everything that's happened recently, and like just the games haven't been jiving with me too much. But I got to sit down. Sat down and played this game, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, it plays like a Xenoblade game in a way, where you're basically kind of like moving your character around, or you've got your Pokemon out and you're moving it, and then you have like these like cooldown attacks that you're just kind of like shifting through them, which is actually kind of cool because like like I was talking about with Chained Echoes, it kind of forces you to just use all your attacks, because usually in a Pokemon game you're not utilizing every attack that you have on your Pokemon, because you're going to focus more on like skills that are actually going to attack.
I think that actually hurt them.
Exactly, that actually hurt them.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of like Atelier Yumiya.
Yeah. So like
kind of going around and using your cooldown attacks and
exactly. So you're just picking the whatever's cooled down. And so you're just kind of siphoning through these. You have like you can create your own like, these are the order that I do these things in. And so you have your own like thought process behind that. But at the same time, like as you're doing that, there's like two like levels of battle. Like you have like the Pokemon, what the Pokemon doing, what you're telling the Pokemon to do. But then you also have like you as the Pokemon trainer, what is your role on the battlefield? And so like, there's like, we played one of the bosses in a second part of the demo, and it basically threw us in a situation where we were, you had to balance, putting the Pokemon out and taking them back in, depending on the type of AoE attacks that the enemy is doing, so they don't get hurt. But at the same time, you also have to dodge as the person, as the Pokemon trainer. So like you would have to like unlock yourself from the battle and then like do quick dodges and like move around and just basically figure out where you need to be to like either pick up some orbs to give yourself a little bit more power to use your special attacks and things like that. So there's a lot going on. And it really takes, all of you to sit down and like focus to figure out exactly like what you need to do in this battle. So it's a lot more.
Yeah, we were talking about, you have to be engaged while playing.
Exactly.
And this is definitely, you have to be locked on. Like you have to be focusing what you're doing.
Which
or
is
else
like
you're gonna
the
die.
opposite of Pokemon usually is.
Right?
It feels like it's more adult because it's definitely feels more complex in how you're thinking about
I'm just
it.
curious how kids are gonna, adjust to this if
Yeah.
they, they get it.
Yeah, like it's definitely like not as simple as a typical because
Like, I guess you can always grind, so your Pokemon
Yeah.
are really strong. But I don't know, like when they threw us into that battle area and they put in like a level 18 Pidgeotto when we were like level 8 Pokemon in our party.
Yeah,
Like,
got
I don't think that's going to
slaughtered.
be a typical scenario.
no, I feel like they were doing that on purpose,
think
just
so.
to mess with people playing the demo. It's just like they seemed happy about that. They're like, you're not going to be
I
able to
think
beat
so.
this. They were very clear on that. They're like, it's not going to work.
Someone did, apparently. They really
Someone.
dodged. Like, they
Someone
got
was
out of
able to beat
the,
it, yeah.
the attack area,
Yeah,
cleared their
'cause
Pokemon.
it sucks
And then
because
you
like
just hit it with the, elements, like the electric type.
yeah,
And not super related, but remind me, which one of you guys got in trouble for going where you weren't supposed to?
I did.
That's right.
I went to the Pokemon Center because my Pokemon were dying. It took me a second to actually know how to pull up the commands because it wasn't really that clear. Like when they just threw you in there. I'm
yeah.
like, what am I doing
I
here?
had trouble. I had trouble
I'm wondering
figuring
if
out
It
the
took me a while
controls.
to find them. I'm like,
Was there like
what type of
was there like a
tutorial is
card
this?
or something? Because some of the games had like cards on the
I did not
display.
see a card.
I didn't see it, but
I didn't
wasn't
see
sure. I
anything.
wasn't really looking either.
I wasn't paying attention.
I didn't see what.
All I
And
know is
don't
like
remember them verbalizing like how you're supposed to pull up the attack menus because you actually had to hold down like a trigger button to have them
Oh, yeah.
shown.
I was like,
And that took me forever to figure out.
and it was rough because I had like a Nintendo rep like right behind me, like over my shoulder, watching me like
on your neck.
Like a
watching me flail with the controls and trying to figure out okay, like what
I know,
does
they didn't
what.
point to a direction like, oh, you're supposed to click this button.
Yeah.
That would have been nice information.
I was like,
Watch you die.
it was like my experience with Silk Song all over again at the Nintendo. That was another thing that
I'm
happened.
sorry about that.
Where the rep there was just like literally I just like get on there and I start playing and then she's like and I died somewhere. She's like, "Did you die already?"
Ready?
Like I was like,
What?
I was like,
Are you that bad?
I'm like,
Are you a
sorry.
fake gamer?
I was like, I'm here
bad
because
enough
I'm
as
fake.
it is.
I know. Yeah, I'm like coming away from that demo. I'm definitely more interested than I was going into it. I was kind of like already writing off that game. Like I was like, maybe I'll get it at some point, but I'm not really worried.
I was similar both, but I'm more interested now.
Yeah, I feel like I won't get it day one, but it's definitely something I'd probably pick up a lot sooner than I would have done.
Whenever I get a
previously.
Switch 2, I'll consider that one of my first games.
Yeah.
Would you get a? I think I know the answer to this, but would you get a Switch 2 collector's edition of Pokemon ZA?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I have other IPs I value more. And then if they don't come out with one I like,
I don't think they have one.
probably just try to go for a custom like skin
Yeah.
sticker.
Yeah, that's true. No, but I'll probably definitely want to play this one. I think it was really fun.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued. And it seems like there's a more thoughtful story than I'm used to.
Yeah, like it actually seems more interesting of a story
I just
than
wish there's voice acting.
that's my biggest gripe with
they're just-
Pokemon. On top of everything else,
Because that was a lot of text we had to read. I'm like, huh.
it's a lot of text.
Pokemon's usually not very texty, but now they're just so text heavy. Like
I know, and like for God's sake, they can afford it.
they can afford it. Also, I think like kids would appreciate it.
I know, like kids would love
Think
to.
of the little kids who don't want to. They're not the best at reading quickly. You know.
I know. Just let them give it. It's for the kids, Nintendo.
It's for the kids.
And the adults
it.
here.
Do it
Think
for
of
the kids. And I will live and I will also benefit from that. But also think of the kids. That's
Think
the
of the
key.
kids.
That's the key part of that. But it was a good experience. I enjoyed it.
I think they do that just so that they don't have to hire the anime voice actors because they'll be maybe expensive.
But they're
And
not
they don't
even
have
the
to,
same characters
choose who
anymore.
will be yet.
Yeah, but they're not even the same characters anymore. Like the anime is just doing its own thing at this point.
I have not been following it, so I know.
I mean, I don't know, but I know like they just
I felt like they
Dude.
eventually, circle back to the games,
they probably do.
and then they'll have the same characters, and then they'll give them a voice actor. Obviously,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but they should do voice acting. It's needed.
But another, I guess, game that has also, I think maybe a little bit controversial,
Ooh.
but has been, sparking interest in turn-based RPGs again that we talked about before is Expedition 33.
Shocked.
I don't know. Would you guys say that is an exemplary combat system?
Yeah.
Like some people have been saying?
Yeah, I would say so. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
you
I
know,
think so too.
it's not the first game, obviously, to do time button presses for defending
No.
or attacking. But
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it
is.
plays so well, and you feel like when you pull off a whole bunch of successful parries in a row, you feel so cool.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I didn't do as often as I would have liked, so I didn't feel as cool. But I can imagine
But he did.
Yeah.
that you would feel cool if you could do it.
And then also customizing the Pictos, like for your
Pictos
experience,
menu.
I thought
Yeah.
was very nice as
That
well.
was cool. Yeah.
Very cool system where you learn the skill from this accessory pretty quickly. Just usually a handful of battles, you learn it.
Yeah.
But then you have to equip it to yourself using a certain
Limit of
stat, or it's like a resource that
Yeah.
you have a limited amount of that increases as you level up. But
And you can give it to not just your character, but your other characters.
other
too.
characters.
Exactly.
And you also
cool.
you can choose to continue wearing that Picto. And then you don't have to use points to have that skill equipped, but you are taking up one of your Picto slots. Yeah, it's a really, really smart like accessory system, which is a weird thing to say. Like you wouldn't think there was
I don't
be
think
much
people
to
talk about that as much for this game. Like it
No.
needs
It is
that,
very
I think,
it is very cool.
because you can like create
Praise,
like
I would
really
say.
fun builds and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you could play around with these characters and like really diversify your builds like on the fly, depending on the enemies that you're dealing with. It's
they made it so you can break that game if you put the right combinations
you
of stuff together.
definitely
Like
can.
you
can
can
absolutely break it.
Like I know the accessory stuff with Final Fantasy 16, that was like one of the first times we've seen, you could equip an accessory to, help you out if you need it. But I feel like instead of saying, oh, here's kind of the consolation prize of trying the game, here's a accessory to make it easier. The Pictos, on the other hand, I feel like they're rewarding to use, and they don't feel like you're, making it on easy mode.
It's not your get out of jail free card. It's like it's a useful tool that
integrated
you can use
in the
how you
system.
want. Yeah.
yeah.
I know there's been a lot of talk about like, some people saying like, hey, this is saving turn-based. Other people saying like, God, I hope that not every game is exactly
have
like
time
Clair
action.
Obscure. Like I can't.
I hope they don't learn the wrong lesson.
Honestly.
Yeah, I hope they don't learn the wrong lesson, because they absolutely could, and I think some
And
will
they probably will
learn the wrong lesson from it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I wouldn't be sad if there were more games like that, but I also don't think they all need to be like that.
Yeah.
No, I think like there's other ways to engage the player rather than just having a parry or dodge mechanic with the time press systems in a turn-based game. Like we talked about Trails and how they have a hybrid system, but I feel like there's other things you could do too. I think also like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think also has a very engaging system, but it's not just all time presses. You have to, strategize. Personally, I think one of my ways I think we could innovate turn-based systems is to add more tactics kind of turn-based systems, but more in a traditional turn-based system rather than a grid system or something like that. I feel like we don't have enough of that crossover because tactics games or strategy games, they're all about the combat. So I'd like to see more of that personally.
Yeah, I do like that, speaking of that, I like that the newer Trails games have integrated some of that stuff. Like they've always been kind of like positioning focused to an extent, but starting with Daybreak and on, starting with Daybreak onward, like your position on the battlefield actually has a direct impact on how your attacks fall. And like it's like you get a bonus if you are attacking an enemy from the side with this particular attack or from behind or whatever. And that's the kind of
Xenoblade's like that too.
Yeah, it's like that kind of
that's not
strategizing.
turn-based, obviously.
Right.
But
it's interesting when you're talking about like, this game has saved Expedition 33 has saved RPGs. I wouldn't say like it's an interesting.
I think that's a bit extreme.
So like
Of a
the
take.
way I see it is like what it did is what Final Fantasy VII did at the time. It's like it
Yeah.
brought in a lot of normies, as you'd call
It
them.
brought in a lot of new people.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
people who generally don't play RPGs, all of a sudden were like, "This looks interesting. Let me try it." And they were just like, "Actually, this is cool." Like it's like it's probably a game that like since Final Fantasy VII, like you haven't heard of anything that was like this widespread like love for like an RPG. Because like there's a bunch of great RPGs that come out within the RPG world that we love, that we talk about, but we're the ones talking about it. You
Right.
know, outside of like things like Baldur's Gate and things, but like more Western style RPGs. But I'm saying like JRPG like styled games. You don't hear a lot of people usually talking about it in outside of our niche.
Yeah,
like,
like
area.
Persona 5, you know,
That got close,
Sparked
yeah, sparked.
recently.
That's
Metaphor
true.
for a little bit, but not as high as, of course, Persona.
I think Persona 5
But
is
I
probably
feel
the
like-
closest since like
Yeah.
that got like everybody, like a lot of people love that.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's where like I think people keep saying that, but I think they're just like thinking about it as like in the sense of like, no, it just made people remember that they exist.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they're there now. Like
Yeah.
normal people remember us.
You could say that, yeah, they've repopularized or increased the popularity of. That's for sure. That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they
What I
saved them
want-
or if they. Yeah.
What I want to see is bring back combo system like RPGs, like Legend of Gaia or
Yeah.
Xenogears
Xenogears,
or
baby,
things
yeah.
like that. Like I want to see build those combos, and especially if they do it like Xenogears, where like even in Legend of Gaia, you can create like these like special attacks if you pair them up in a certain way.
Right.
But learning special attacks as you go with Xenogears, you can like your button presses, if you use them so many times, all of a sudden unlocks like a special special move,
and then
so
you
like
have that in your repertoire for the rest of the game. Like that's
exactly. And then you're just building out your death blows that are just like these epic like attacks. And by the end of the game, you're just doing like crazy damage with some of these like
Yeah.
attacks. And it's just such a fun and like engaging style of combat that's like also can look very flashy, especially if you use it in like
Yeah.
modern graphics. I'd love to see
I'd
that
like
come back.
Also, like more environmental, changes whenever you're battling. Like I know that they do this in a lot of strategy RPGs, like Triangle Strategy did that for a bit.
Mhm.
Even Fire Emblem with Engage, they had different terrain changes
Oh,
that
yeah.
would happen with like a sandstorm or something.
Right.
But I think you could do that with any sort of turn-based game. That doesn't have to be strategy.
That just got me thinking. I would love to take that and apply like Street Fighter and like fighting game mechanics where like you can, if you
Yeah.
hit somebody, they fly out and they end up in like a different
A different part of the
Oh.
arena.
a different part
Yeah.
of the arena or a different part of
That
like
is so
that
cool.
level. And so like you could just like, have things shift, in terms of where the battle's taking
Yeah.
place, depending
There's
on
like there's stuff that's similar to that in like the 7 remake trilogy
Yeah.
where you're in the middle of a boss fight and
Exactly,
like,
and it
thing like
moves.
that happens.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is very cool. Just from a flashy effects perspective.
It's just
like
fun.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Like and that's what it's about. So
it's
yeah.
popcorn.
I feel like they could make a platformer RPG better than they have. Or
yeah,
it's not,
Child of Light
like,
is fine, but it's not like
no, like
They
I
could
feel
do
like
better.
whenever they try to incorporate platformer elements into an RPG, they don't do them well.
yeah. Cause like, see, like it's
I
like
feel like they're just missing the mark
Well,
because they
it's-
don't have maybe the engine for it or something. I don't know.
that, and it's always done by like indie teams. And so there's a limited amount of money for development. And so like you either do the combat really well or the platforming really well. And like, if you're trying to spread yourself across two different, like very specific
Mhm.
types of like gameplay,
Yeah.
you're going to not be able to do them justice
No.
in the amount of time and money that might probably cost you to like an effort that leads into those things. So like, it would be nice to see like a bigger publisher or developer that has like a bit more money to throw at things, really take a stab at something like that.
yeah.
I think so.
That would be nice. It would be nice. I like platformers and I love JRPGs. So like,
Yeah, I want to see
Same.
more.
would love to see
Same.
that.
Together.
At least see that.
We see more visual novels and JRPGs together. Like
Yeah,
I would like to
that's
see
true.
more hybrid genres come together because I feel like that's another way to bring some innovation into things.
That's true. There's a lot of really interesting, ways they
Like,
could probably.
13 Sentinels,
Yeah.
was something lauded for its story, and then the tactics was fun. It might
Yeah.
seem a little bit, not as involved as some other tactics, sort of, or
Yeah.
what do you call those, real-time
strategy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, we just mentioned a few different exemplary combat systems that we've found in some favorite JRPGs. We'd love to hear what your guys' examples of
Let
exemplary
us know in the
combat
comments.
systems are.
Please tell
Yes.
us.
Let us know
examples.
what we didn't talk about that makes you so angry that we didn't talk about it. That you
Like
have to
the
let us
obvious
know.
stuff that it's like, what are these idiots doing? They should have
Like-
brought up fill in the blank.
We didn't
Fill
bring
in the
up
blank.
Radiant Historia.
Yeah.
We always
Talk
talk
about
about
Radiant
that
We
one.
always
Historia.
talk about that. Also,
Yeah,
like
we intentionally were like, we need to shut the heck up about Radiant Historia.
I know we can only talk so much about Radiant Historia until we
I
become
know.
well. The more we talk about it, the more maybe
Atlas will bring it back.
Atlas.
We'll keep putting
Maybe
it out
bring
in
it
the
back?
universe, and maybe they'll pick it up. We'll see.
Well, if Atlas is watching this, if you guys are watching this, bring it back.
So in the final closing minutes of the episode, we kind of hinted that we might talk a little bit about PAX. I know we don't have a ton of time, but
Oh, yeah.
any like closing thoughts from the weekend at PAX West that you all might have?
I'm excited for all those games we demoed. Like, my highlights are definitely still Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mhm.
I haven't never played that before,
Mhm.
and Digimon
Mhm.
Stories Time Stranger. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to those. But the other games are fun too. Like we mentioned, Pokemon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Pokemon. Octopath Traveler
Surprising,
Zero.
how much we're interested in now.
Yeah, I enjoyed Octopath Traveler Zero too as well.
Yeah. I would play more Octopath games. I feel like that is another sort of hole in my JRPG catalog that I need to fill.
Yeah, my biggest worry
I'm-
with Octopath is like the story. I don't know what that's going to look like, or like silent protagonist. I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't need it story. I don't know. Like, the combat
They're
was fun.
saying it's
like,
going to be
once
100
I
hours
understood
long.
it.
Yeah, if it's gonna be 100 hours
there
long-
better be a story. I'm going to be.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I cannot.
You did say it was 100
I cannot
hours
play a
long.
100-hour game that has no story. I
That's
will
true.
literally. I can't handle
There's
that.
enough characters like that
Yeah.
seem to have personalities and stuff that I think that they're going to have something.
Yeah,
They gotta
I
have
just hope
something.
it doesn't feel fan fictiony because like they're bringing in characters from the
Yeah,
previous
from-
game, like or the first game. And
You
it's
know, like with Various Day Life, how that was like, there's very much a game you can play maybe daily,
yeah,
but it's not
Yeah.
that
it's
fun.
not like a yeah.
I hope it's not like this.
Not-
And
I'm sure it won't be, but like yeah, I'm
Shouldn't
also a
be,
little bit
right?
nervous.
and I hope
um,
it's not like the mobile game trend where like they bring all the characters from like all the different things and they just put them into this like
Yeah.
it's like it's just a fan service like
Yeah.
cash grab.
Yeah.
Like
Which was not at PAX, but I'm also a little bit nervous about the new Atelier game because that also has roots from the Gotcha game that they brought over
Exactly.
and made a full-fledged
yeah,
JRPG from the same world and characters.
yeah.
Let's
Curious
see
how
how all
that
these
gets
turn out.
handled. Yeah, I'm really excited, like even more than I thought I would be for Dragon Quest 1 and
yes.
2. Honestly,
Yes.
like Dragon
100%.
Quest 1
Yeah.
because it's a really important game for me personally. Like
Yes.
first one, and also represent Dragon Quest T-shirt as the chant went at the Square Enix party. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We missed that part. Apparently, we showed up late, but
You showed up too late.
We showed
Oh well.
Yeah, I know.
fashionably late.
No, it was not fashionable.
Unfashionable. But yeah, Dragon Quest 1 obviously is an important game to me, and then Dragon Quest 2 is one of my favorite. It's like very high up on the Dragon Quest list for me. Like
Yeah,
they were doing
I never-
interesting things.
I never played two.
with like story and characters back before anybody was doing that.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe you could say Final Fantasy 2. I don't know which. I can't remember off the top of my head which came out first. I'm assuming Dragon Quest 2 came out first, but I could be wrong about
I
that.
can't remember. No, I can't.
But they actually had like a story and distinct
Yeah.
characters and stuff, which was just not. I think that would have blown my mind if I had played it as a kid. I didn't. I completely missed
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 2,
Same
or
here.
Dragon Warrior 2. But yeah, like in playing the HD 2D remasters or
Beautiful.
remakes, it's like very good. Like
Yeah.
very very good.
It's like how you envisioned it as a kid.
yeah, it feels very
Like,
right. It feels very nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I have zero nostalgia for Dragon Quest, but I'm also intrigued.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Digimon I thought was a lot of fun. We had a couple hours with that one, right? Like,
Yeah, we had 2 hours.
Yeah, you can play the demo now, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, the demo's out.
It's like a 4-hour demo, so
least
you'll have a good idea.
At least
the
the
game for
first
you or
part
not.
of what we played, right? Because we played the beginning part of the
Actually,
game, and then they skipped.
They'll
us
do the
forward.
beginning, and then they'll also cut away to this. I think what we played.
Oh,
in
do they
the
do
main
that?
town.
Okay. I thought that it was
Yeah,
just
that's
like
what I saw.
your save carries over, but interesting.
It doesn't carry
I
over
think
then?
just the beginning save carries over.
Okay.
Okay, as long as the beginning saves
Interesting.
carries over,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
But yeah,
Might-
it's looking really cool. I like how, like I was saying, I think I was saying to you guys, like all the Digimon are like voiced, like they talk, and they don't just say their names like Pokemon. Apparently, I didn't realize this was.
They
I remember it from the
legitimately
cartoon,
talk.
but I didn't know that was. I thought maybe that was just a convention from the cartoon. But no, they
Oh,
all
really?
talk. They have personalities,
Yeah, they
and like there's a scene where you're talking to what looks like a miniature T-Rex inside of a seashell, and it's like talking to you, and it's got like just like I don't know, pathos in its voice. It just sounds like it's like I was like, man, they're making me feel. This
Yeah.
is like
So
goofy
many
little
feels.
this goofy little animal, fake animal is like making me
Digital
feel.
monster.
Yeah.
They're champions for a reason, my friend.
They are the
Yeah.
champions. Holy
They
cow.
are.
So yeah, I thought PAX was great. That's my second PAX. First one that I've fully experienced because last year
It's
I
my
was
first
only
one.
there for like a day.
My first.
Great
yeah.
fun. Great fun.
I
Great to meet so many people.
know that's what I was gonna say. Like we met a lot of really
I was
great.
going to list the people we met, but I'm afraid that
We're gonna not make them,
in my
like,
tired
there's-
mind
it's
will overlook somebody. And I
Too
don't
long
wanna,
of a list, honestly. If
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
know
met
making
so
you
many
know who
people.
you are.
if
you're
you
watching
met us,
this.
then you know that you're one of the people that we met.
I know you.
Um,
I saw you. But it was a great time. We got to really connect with a lot of really great people.
Yeah, and doing panels too.
Yeah.
That's
Panels was a lot of fun.
a great.
We had a lot of
experience.
fun with our panels. We had a lot of fun doing the panel with Party Chat. Had a great time with them. Shenanigans all around.
Such.
We ate a lot
If
of
you didn't
good food.
watch our last episode while we were there,
Yeah,
shenanigans ensued.
it was a chaotic episode of a lot of stuff happening. But you know what? You get that many people in a hotel room, hyped up after 3 days. How many days?
Yeah.
Was
3
this
days
Sunday?
at that
Yeah, it
point.
was Sunday night or Sunday
Like afternoon, late
afternoon,
Yeah.
evening, early evening. So like we were like coming down from being like just constant for the last few days, and then like still needing to hype up for the last bit. So it was energy was high.
Yeah.
It
Somehow
was.
we were happy.
Unlike right now, where I'm like, oh my god,
Brandon's
Oh,
about to fall
crashing.
asleep. See,
I'm crashing.
Brandon, you can see the difference of
So-
Brandon from the beginning of this episode to right now. It is like
Yeah.
he spiraled.
And if you are a pursuer level member, you can watch the after show and see kind of this weird inversion where like all of a sudden I'm going up, like I'm ramping up. But actually, that's where I was coming from. I was coming from there, and now I'm crashing. So,
But
it's told out of order, like a Kaufman film.
Brandon's
Charlie
our
Kaufman.
Brandon's our little Benjamin Button.
Meet you in the middle.
There you go. Or Memento if you like that.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had tattoos all over his body that told him
Told him
what happened.
what happened. Yeah, exactly.
Great film. Anyway,
Wonderful
thank
film.
you so
Yeah.
much, everybody, for watching.
Have a
If
great
you're a
one.
pursuer level member, I hope you'll stick around and watch the after show, the before after show.
That's the before show.
The
before
before
show.
show after.
And I guess we'll talk to you next week. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.